I'm Allison Gardner-Martin, Chief Communications Officer for the Jefferson County Public School District. This is an information session, a conversation with the superintendent. It's something that employees have been asking for and asking about to help us improve internal communications here in the district. So today, I'm proud to be joined by Superintendent Dr. Donna Hargens to tell us a little bit more about what's going on in the district and to answer some of the questions that employees submitted after they received their Fast 5 emails. A lot of the questions had to deal with K-Prep scores, what they mean, what we saw as a district. And so is there a message that you have to employees, Dr. Hargens, and what are the high points that you took away from that announcement?
Well, and what I want to say to employees is great job, because we plateaued last year and we pushed through that plateau. So the work of school-based employees and those supported by non-school-based employees should be applauded. So we know that our graduation rate broke 80. And we've been waiting for that to happen, so congratulations to everyone. And then our college and career readiness rate still is going up, so 63.4, and that's doubled since 2010, so that's amazing. And then we also know achievement is on the rise again. We went up in total achievement and then also in our GAP group, but also every subgroup except for limited English proficient is on the rise again. So we've got lots of momentum and progress, and we've got lots of work to do, but everyone should be applauded for the work that they've done.
Absolutely, and it was an exciting announcement when we had the announcement that day and had all the principals in the building. And you were talking about that it's the principals, the teachers, the support staff, the school bus drivers, everybody makes this happen.
The credit goes to the people right there on the front line, seeing students every day. They've done amazing work, and like I said, this is a large school district. To move the needle takes everybody doing their part, and I want to congratulate everybody for doing a great job.
And what are your takeaways, Dr. Hargens, on things that you'll focus on for next school year? Or for next testing period?
Well, we know that we want to go higher with college and career readiness rate and also graduation rate and achievement. Really, the work of a district is really focusing on learning for every child. So we know that that's done at the school level by focusing on the needs of every child. So we're going to continue to do that work, and that will pay off as it did for us this year.
And just as you mentioned, deeper learning is part of that, personalized instruction, a lot of which is in our Vision 2020 plan.
Absolutely. It's not just about reading and math. It's about having the dispositions and capacities to be successful. And I want to give a shout out to all the Compassionate School Project schools. They're doing amazing work and helping kids learn to self-regulate, how to make great choices, how to be empathetic. So those are great skills that you need to have in life. So it's not just about cognitive skills, but it's about those non-cognitive skills as well. And we have a group, a collaborative group, working on how to define deeper learning and how to give employees and teachers and strategies to how do you get at deeper learning at the school level. So that collaboration is important as well.
Well, we have another question that one of our employees submitted, and it was the Jefferson County Board of Education recently approved salary schedules for the new school year that gives all of its employees raises and brings our lowest paid employees up to at least $14 an hour. A couple of employees ask about the parity of providing some employees a significant bump in pay to bring them to that $14 level. Could you put this in perspective, the bigger picture, as we're looking at this new salary schedule?
Well, and everyone should know that we are a people-powered business. The majority of our budget is salaries, so our people are really important. So to have competitive salaries to attract and retain the best people in Jefferson County is incredibly important, and that's certainly always a goal. But our board in particular believed that our lowest paid employees needed also attention, so that it isn't right for someone not to have the money that they need or have less than $14 an hour. So we know that that brings some of our lowest paid employees close to where other employees are. And again, we're working to actually acknowledge and reward all employees. So we understand that was a problem, but again, the bigger intent is making sure that families have a wage that really they can support their families, or employees have a wage that they can support their families with.
And we should point out that employees will begin to see that new pay rate on their checks very soon, and that there will be a retroactive paycheck that will be remitted to all employees, and that will be coming later in the year.
Absolutely.
We had a couple of questions about that as well. One employee, a teacher, asked if sick leave reimbursement benefit for retirement was being terminated. She writes that she loves what she does, of course, but is concerned about the uncertainty of the benefits. That worries her. Another employee asked if the district is doing anything to address the imbalance of the Kentucky Teachers Retirement Fund. Is there anything you'd like to point out specifically with these two questions and KTRS as a whole? I know that was one of our legislative priorities.
That was a legislative priority, making sure that the KTRS system is sound. We want our employees to focus on their jobs and not worrying about their retirement, knowing that that's sound. So that was at the top of our legislative agenda to make sure that people in Frankfort take care of closing that gap in the retirement system. So that's as important to us as it is to employees. So the other thing about sick leave. Actually that I think became a rumor. Communication is so important, and I appreciate this opportunity to answer questions like that, because that never was in jeopardy. That's a state level that you accumulate sick leave and you're paid out a third of that sick leave. So that never was in jeopardy. And I tried to think of what might have caused that rumor. I think the only thing that was discussed was if you go on leave, that you use your sick leave first, so that there's a uniform process and it's consistent from employee to employee. But that was the only mention about sick leave at all, but certainly not the payout. People who come to work and aren't sick accumulate sick leave, and they should get that benefit.
Absolutely. Well, we received another question about family transportation issues and the challenges that a lack of consistent, dependable transportation place on our students and our parents. The writer asked, parent involvement is crucial to student success, which is, we all know, but parents can only be so involved via telephone if their child is far away. What can we as a district do to remedy this? And I know you know some great ideas that are already going on in our schools.
Absolutely, and what I want to make sure that I give a shout out to everybody in transportation. We transport a lot of students every day, and there are devoted employees who care for our students. So I want to thank them for everything that they do. Now, what's important is our choice system in Jefferson County. Our average ride time is 28 minutes, but parents have a choice. And part of Vision 2020 is making sure that everybody engages in the choice. So we know that we have work to do. We have a mobile application bus that goes out to make sure families know about their choice. We also, I know lots of schools have parent-teacher conferences in communities where families live. So there's a lot of work to reach out to families and do innovative things to make sure families are included. And I think technology is a tool because you can now Skype with your child's teacher. So I think there are lots of innovative ways that we can keep families engaged. One of the things that people don't know is that when we looked at this, there were 1,200 families that could have moved closer to home. And we called them and said, you know, we can be within our student assignment plan and you can be closer to home. And only a handful of families took us up on that. When you choose a school, when you have an investment in that choice, sometimes the closest school is not the one that you choose.
Might not be the right fit for your child.
Absolutely. So we certainly value choice. And want families to know that that's an important part of the process. But we certainly want to work on our end to accommodate families. The 313 Help Center is about when you call, you can get the answer that you need. Parent Portal is about going online and getting connected with how your child is doing. So parental engagement, very important, and we want to do everything that we can to bridge the gap. And closing the distance isn't always the best strategy, or isn't always the only strategy.
Well, in the communications department, we'd be remiss if we didn't remind all of our employees to download our app, our JCPS app, so you can share that with families, and to make sure that you follow the district on Twitter and Facebook. And if you're on Twitter, that you use the hashtag #WeAreJCPS so we can retweet the information that's coming from your classrooms and your schools, so we get that out to our more than 61,000 followers from the district. So a lot of exciting stuff going on this month, and we want to thank Dr. Hargens for joining us. This is going to be a quarterly conversation that we have, and so we'll be asking you for your questions in the Fast Five, so make sure you stay tuned for your next opportunity to have a conversation with the superintendent.